Hey y'all, I'm back with another video, and today we're actually in my room instead of being in the bathroom because today's video is not a hair tutorial. I'm here to bring you guys 10 tips to help you grow your hair. Let me start this off by saying that every head of hair is different. A lot of factors play into, how fast your hair grows or how much it'll even grow throughout its hair lifetime. My genes are different from your genes, which are different from your friend's genes, which are different from, whoever's genes. So just because you see something work for somebody else doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily work for your hair. So take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. Some of these are just general rules. Some of these are things that have worked for me. So yeah, I'm just going to use my experience to help y'all. So I have some notes here on my lovely little iPad. I invested in an Apple Pencil during the fall semester because I'm an art major, and it has helped me tremendously. I recommend it for anybody that can drop the $100 I think this is, which is insane for a stylist, but it's really, really worth it. Just aside, Apple sponsor me, please. Yeah. So we're gonna look into our notes. Tip number 1. Find a regimen for your hair and stick with it. Consistency is the key when it comes to hair growth. If you spend 1 week, shampooing and moisturizing it, and then you go 4 weeks without doing anything to it, it's not going to matter what you did that first week because you weren't consistent with it. I like to relate it to exercise. If you exercise but you aren't consistent with it, you aren't going to reap the rewards, You're just going to fall back into a rut. But I think the easiest way to find a hair regimen is to start simple. So, maybe once or twice a week, you can detangle and moisturize it. Maybe do a braid out, a twist out, or a protective style. And yeah, just whatever you're doing, make sure it's consistent. I know for me, I like to, when I don't have a protective style like these twists in, I like to detangle and moisturize my hair and restyle it every 3 days, just because that's what works for me and that's what helps me prevent breakage and dryness. If I go any longer than that, say with the twist out, then I start getting tangles and my hair starts feeling really brittle and dry. So yeah, find a regimen and stick with it. Get you a nice oil, a nice leave-in conditioner, a good cleansing shampoo, a good deep conditioner, and you're golden. The second tip would be to keep your scalp moisturized and use warm oil when you massage and moisturize your scalp. The reason I say use warm oil is because the warmth helps to open up the pores of your scalp the same way that the pores on your face and the rest of your body open. And when those pores are open, they can absorb the nutrients from the oil better and disperse it throughout your hair rather than just sitting on top. I also recommend that you add in more scalp massage. I like to massage my scalp every day, it feels really good and it's good for your hair. When put your oil in, massage your scalp, because when you massage your scalp, on top of having the warm oil opening your pores, you're bringing more blood flow to your scalp, and all that blood flow and all that nutrients is going to be the bedrock in which the hair comes from. You can't grow good veggies in bad soil. That's how I like to think of it. Your hair is your garden and your scalp is your soil. You got to take care of that soil. Tip number 3, detangle gently. I cannot stress this enough. This was my biggest issue when I first went natural because I was just so frustrated and I would rush through my hair. Like I said in a couple videos earlier, I was raised that, beauty is pain, and I never really got to take my time with my hair. It was always just So whenever you're detangling, make sure you are using the right tools, whether those tools be your hands or, a really, really wide tooth comb, or, say a paddle brush or a boar hair brush, Just use what works for you, but whatever you do, take your time and listen to your hair. If you realize that while you're using a brush for your hair, that you lose 5 times more hair than you lose than with a comb, maybe you should stick with the comb even if the brush is faster, Speed isn't always the end game. When you're doing your hair, you should strive for health, and you should strive for, honestly, you should just strive for health. Healthy hair is good hair. Healthy hair will do what you want it to do, even if it doesn't look the way you want it to look. It's yours, and you can claim that, and you can be proud of that. Tip 4, okay? Let go of your damaged ends. Remember when Billie Eilish was talking about her boy and how his friends are split ends? He cuts them off. That's real. If your hair is, if you're detangling your hair, right? And every time you get to the end of it, it gets caught no matter how much the roots and the shaft is detangled, then you probably need to trim your ends. Or if you're doing like a twist out style or a braid out style, you realize once you get to your ends, they're very, very scraggly and all the strands are different lengths and they just seem really brittle and just kind of gross, then it might be time to let them go. Like I said earlier, the health of your hair is the number one goal. If you keep your hair healthy, I promise you can retain length and it will grow to whatever you have in mind realistically. But we'll get to setting realistic goals later. But yeah, don't be afraid to pick up those hair scissors and let go of those dead split ends, because I promise you they're only holding you down. Your hair is going to be so much healthier and it's going to grow so much better if you let go of those dead ends. And it'll also make your afro look a lot fuller. I didn't know this until like I actually started noticing things about my hair. But whenever my hair really needed the ends trimmed, they would get really feathery and I could see a lot of like light through them, like in photos. But whenever I would cut those ends off, my hair would look so much more full and just voluptuous. So yeah, trim your ends, and also don't rip knots out of your head. I know it might seem like not a big deal, but ripping a knot out of your head every day, it adds up. So when you can, get those scissors, use the search and destroy method, find those fairy knots and cut them off. Don't rip stuff out of your hair, don't rip your strands. We work real hard to grow these strands, y'all. Our body does a lot to grow our hair, so let's take care of it. Tip number 5, use protective styles that are actually protective. So often in the natural hair community, we see a lot of styles that are they're just not protective. In short, like with leave out or too much tension, or just you have to manipulate your hair every day, or it's just weighed down with product and gels with alcohol in them. Like listen to your hair. Just because a hairstyle is cute doesn't mean you should wear it all the time. Like say you wear weave and you have a leave out. If all of your hair, the rest of your hair is protected, but your leave out is being flat ironed every day and gelled down and all of that, that's gonna still take some damage. The style isn't fully protected. Or let's say you have a hairstyle where you can't reach your hair at all. That's honestly not that protective either, because you need to maintain your hair while it's in a protective style. Just because your hair is put away doesn't mean that it's going away. You still need to moisturize it weekly, you still need to take care of your scalp, and you still need to wash your hair and deep condition it when necessary. Remember, use protective styles that are actually protective, and just because your hair is put away doesn't mean you don't have to take care of it. Tip number 6, keep your hair stretched. This is something that I didn't realize until my hair started to get a little bit longer. And I actually picked this up from, I think it's either Natural 85 or Protective Princess. Whoever gave me this idea, I will tag them in the description below, because both of their tips helped me so much when I went natural, because their hair texture was very similar to mine. This is something that helped me a lot, just because keeping my hair in a stretched state, it just makes the detangling easier, because it prevents my hair from shrinking up and from bouncing back on itself, if that makes sense. I do this by either keeping my hair, in stretch twists, because originally I used to do these on wet hair, and they would, shrink up really hard, and then when I went to detangle, then when I went to undo them, they would be like dreads. So eventually I realized, okay, my hair does not like to shrink up. Some people's hair can take that, mine can't. So my hair is always stretched, whether that is in, like I say, a twist style, because a twist style is my favorite thing ever. Sometimes I do Bantu knot outs, sometimes I band my hair, sometimes I do braid outs. I want to do a roller set soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, keeping your hair stretched just keeps all the strands in place, keeps them from becoming retangled, and also helps you when you go back to detangle, because you're already halfway there. And usually if you keep your hair stretched, the parts that you stretched it in will already be there too, so it just keeps things really, really, really easy and prevents breakage. Tip number 7. This is something I have a lot of trouble with, but I'm getting better. Deep condition your hair regularly. The best way I can explain it is once again with the garden analogy, Every garden needs fertilizer sometimes, and we often don't deep condition our hair enough, Some people say once a week. I'm lazy, so I like to deep condition my hair every 2 weeks. But make sure whenever you're deep conditioning your hair, you're cleansing it with a nice shampoo. You're getting your scalp clean of all the buildup and residue from the weeks and the days of styling and the elements and sweat and everything else in life. And make sure you just have a really good quality deep conditioner that really penetrates your strands and makes your hair feel soft and moisturized and just like butter. Tip number 8. this is something that I cannot stress enough, that I think applies to like every aspect of human existence. Drink more water. Drink more water. Eat nutritious foods. I know it sounds like total BS, but I promise you, your hair growth starts from inside. Remember when we talked about laying the groundwork for, having a nice garden with our soil by moisturizing our scalp and massaging it with the warm oils? This has the same feel to it, If you drink water and eat nutritiously, your hair will have your follicles will have more raw material to work with to help build up your hair strands. If you're just eating and drinking soda and fast food all day, no. I hate to say, use common sense, but use common sense. If it's not, if it makes you break out, makes your tummy feel wild, it makes you sluggish and all of that, then it's probably not gonna be good for your body or be good for your hair growth. But the water thing is that's something I noticed that made a really, really big difference in my hair, because I drink a lot more water in the summertime than in the wintertime. My hair would just be blossoming in the summertime. So yes, drink more water, eat better food. Number 9. This is something that I think a lot of black women have issues with, because we're told from birth to hate our hair and hate everything that we are. But this tip would be to be nice to your hair. You can't get good out of the world if you're only putting in bad. If all you do is talk down to your hair and, oh, I'm so bald headed, and oh, my hair is so nappy, and oh, I wish I was this, and oh, I wish my hair was like this, then of course your hair is not going to grow. Put out good vibes to receive good vibes. Be nice to your hair and be patient. You have to realize it takes a lot of effort for your body to make hair. Like, it sounds really stupid, but it does. Like, you can't just expect 15 inches of hair down your back overnight. That's not how it works. That's unrealistic. Tip number 10, be realistic with your hair goals. If the genetics in your family aren't set up for you to have, a super big, super amazing Shaka Khan afro, then, you might not want to aim for that. That might only cause some internal turmoil for yourself. Be realistic in your hair journey. I went into it and, I always idolized mixed girls when I was younger because I thought, whatever. So that's what I wanted. I wanted my hair to be to my butt, ringlet curls. Never gonna happen. No matter how much relaxer, no matter how much texturizer, no matter how much anything, my hair will never come out of my head like that. It might reach that length just because, I have long hair genes in my family. Like, my brother always had like box braids down his back, so did my father. My male cousins always had hair down their back, and some of them still do to this day. So, some of us get lucky and we have the hair type and the genetics that we want. Some of us don't. But you have to be realistic and work with what you're given. We're all blessed in different ways, and we all are made uniquely as we are meant to be. So yes, be patient with your hair. Be realistic, but be hopeful. Be positive. And this is kind of a bonus that I'm gonna actually make a video on, just because it works so well for me. Try the inversion method. If you don't know what the inversion method is, it is a technique that helps you to grow your hair, where you take a warm oil and you massage your scalp and you invert yourself or hang upside down for 7 minutes every day for 7 days straight. When I tried this back in 2015 or 2016, I literally grew an inch of hair. I am not joking, like, on everything. I literally grew an inch of hair in a week when I was transitioning from relaxed to natural. It helped me get over that plateau, and it boosted my confidence in my hair so much. I also tried it again once I big chopped. Well, after I big chopped, because I think I big chopped in 26. I gotta get the timeline right, y'all. I'm gonna make a natural hair journey video too, just because I feel like, it could help some people if I show them what I did to, like, get over those plateaus and to build the confidence in myself and, build my repertoire of techniques and stuff like that. I can't speak to it enough. It works. Try it. The only reason that it might not work is if, you do a lot of yoga or something like that. If you're already holding your head down a lot, it probably won't work, because the science behind it is that the increased blood flow to the head, once again, and the increase of nutrients and the stimulation of the follicles combined helps jumpstart hair growth. And I can testify to that. So yeah, that was pretty easy, pretty quick. Those are my 10 tips to help you grow your hair or retain length, whatever, however you want to phrase it. Thanks for, chilling out with me, sitting down, being in my little space. I have a lot of plans for today. You know, gonna do some stuff around the house, gonna do some stuff in my sketchbook, gonna do some art stuff, gonna clean up. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Please let me know in the comments like any additional hair tips that y'all could think of, you know, answer each other's questions, help each other out, or even give me some advice, you know. I don't know everything at all. I'm just here to share what I know with you. So yeah, have a lovely day, and you know, peace. Be easy.